Hello everyone. I welcome you to today's conversation in All About Data. And today, my conversation I'm hosting at my home office. As we begin, I acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land of Bidjigal people that we're on today, and I pay my respects to the elders past, present, and emerging. So with that, I welcome my guest today, Ming Prince, Data Center Specialist SC from Cisco. Welcome, Ming.
Thank you, Barsha. Happy to be here.
Thank you for coming and having this conversation in my home office. This is so great.
Yes, it's very exciting.
It's the first that's happened, so I'm very excited. Hey, could you tell our audience a little bit about yourself? Yourself. What do you do? What is your role like? And anything else you want to share?
Yeah. So my name is Ming Prince. I am a data center specialist SE in Cisco. We actually changed the name to Cloud Infrastructure Software Group just to be more aligned with the hybrid cloud movement.
Yeah.
And I have been with Cisco for 11 years. I spent some time in the tech as a support engineer, and then I moved across to pre-sales to support to support customers in their deployment and I guess architecturing the solutions.
Yeah, sure. So 11 years, that was around that time was when I first started my first job out of uni. Did you start at Cisco as a grad engineer as well?
Yes, I actually started as an intern when I was in uni.
Oh,
and
wow.
Then I joined the graduate program and so kind of just move around in Cisco. The different roles.
That's amazing, and I feel very grateful to have you here today, because one of the reasons that I chose network engineering was because at the time Cisco was everywhere, and I got to do a CCNA course, and that was when I was like, oh, out of all the subjects that I've done in my 4 years of uni, I thought, yeah, I am definitely, a network kind of person. So that's what kind of guided my career direction. So it's so great to be having a conversation with a fellow, engineer, who's had a similar path, right, at Cisco, but very similar. So Thank you for sharing that. Hey, given your role as a data center specialist SC, if I can be so audacious, I'm gonna challenge you a little bit, okay?
Yes.
Most of my conversations today with most customers are around cloud, whether it's hybrid cloud, whether it's all cloud, whether it's hybrid multi-cloud. And so with you specializing data center solutions, how does that come into that play when people are talking all about cloud? Where does data center sit in that?
Yeah, I love this question because I think it's something that a lot of people have in their mind and probably didn't want to bring that up. So I'm so glad that you bring this up. I guess in the olden days, data center used to be within four walls. It's all really secure, lock-in. But nowadays, the data is where, the data center is where the data sits. So we are actually probably, we look at it in more like a hybrid cloud environment. Your on-prem environment can be your private cloud, and then you have public cloud workloads as well. And but there's a lot of things you have to consider in terms of how do we connect them, because these workloads are not isolated anymore. And you also have to think about how do you secure your data. It doesn't matter where it sits. Security is always top of mind.
Yeah.
And the also thing is that, when we work with the IT team, we always think about how do they do their day-to-day job. Just because our cloud is such a popular thing, or this is top of mind, but you have to think about how do you implement it, how do you do your day-to-day, how do you have visibility in your infrastructure. It doesn't matter it's on-prem or in the cloud, and how we're not overloading the team because there's already so much on their plate. We don't want to because complexity is definitely something that we want to tackle. So there's a lot of effort that we definitely put in to make sure customers' workload is secure, is easy to operate, and it's really solving their business challenges.
I love that last point you mentioned, right? Business challenges. And I guess, yes, there is a lot of plus that you get out of cloud, and a lot of customers see that it's consumption model. You have different sort of capabilities across different clouds, and you're using that. But we see, a lot of customers would have started in data center, or a lot of the customers, new customers now have started all in cloud. But does it make sense to overcome your business challenges if you go all in? And that's why there's the hybrid level, and in that hybrid, a big part of that is data center, isn't it? And I really love the fact that you touched on visibility as well, right? Irrespective of where your data is, how are you making sure you've got the visibility and the control, and how are you making use of that data, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we are all just, I guess, take a step back. Like, at the moment, we are not lack of data. We're actually overloaded with data.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you open I guess I pick some tools and then you open this like hundreds of thousands of alerts, what will happen? You'll be just too overwhelmed for you to take any actions.
Yeah.
So what we need is actually insight. We need ability to translate those data, those noise, and then into something that is actionable, something that actually makes sense to me, to my network, and they'll tell me the next step that I should take. So this is really, I guess, it's really interesting because it's definitely the complexity of data is kind of beyond human scale.
Yeah.
But leveraging AI and ML is definitely helping us to get to the actionable insight quicker.
Yeah, absolutely. And NetApp and Cisco has had a really long working partnership. And if we think about each of the companies, we were both traditional data center sort of specialist vendors, and NetApp has a lot of cloud capability offerings. Cisco's got it. We both together have a very good hyper converged infrastructure that we combine this help our customers deploy in their data center, which is great. But then we're not just limited to that data center space. There's so much more that we can do, right? So I guess even in your role, you're brought in as a data center specialist, but you're not limited to just that data center design. Tell us a bit about what does your role involve? Like, what kind of conversations are you having with customers? Surely it's not just like, oh, I'm a data center specialist and I'm gonna give you a bunch of hardware to deploy in data center.
Yeah, exactly. I guess overall my career is always about just finding the problems and digging a bit deeper into what is the problem, what is the issue we're trying to solve, and then we go and have a look at our toolkit to see if there's anything that we can offer to solve the problem. Yeah. And a lot of time is also about a collaborative approach with our alliance, our partners, because we don't do everything, but we have a really good partnership with NetApp and a lot of our alliance partners, even some backup partners as well. So it's really about coming together to understand customers' pain points, understand where customer want to go, and then we kind of come together with a plan of designing the best solution for our customer. Yeah.
Oh, I love that point, Ming. It is not about just I am Cisco or NetApp and I've got this toolkit and I'm going to solve everything. I really love what you said. We have our capabilities, and I think it's for both NetApp and Cisco as well, right? But then when we work with a customer, they don't just want what we offer, they want everything else, especially when even in data center, there could be virtualization, there could be something else, and then what are you consuming in the cloud? Not all organizations offer everything. So you gotta have that ecosystem of support, working together, collaboration. I love that. And I'm okay. So here's something. We've had a couple of conversations in the past, and I know I love your analogies around everything that you talk about. Give us something around what do you see as this as the trend or transformation that's going on in the hybrid cloud. Can you compare that with anything else that you see in an everyday life?
Yeah, so I guess when I try to explain to this is something I explain to someone who is probably outside IT, for example, like my mom or the kids, about what is hybrid cloud, what is or different things. It's like we all have a car, right? And then, but sometimes when we go to the city, I'll just we'll take an Uber because it's too hard to find parking, and I just probably want a few drinks, right? Yes. So I will use this Uber. So this is a bit like a public cloud offering. Yeah. But it doesn't mean that I get rid of my car, because I still appreciate the convenience that I can jump in a car whenever I want. It has my car. It has a car seat there for my kids.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of a special workload that I can't really take the car seat with me everywhere.
Everywhere in Uber,
yeah. And then when I go travel, I probably just rent a car instead, because that is another different use case for my use. So it's not really about which one is better, rideshare or having your own car, but it's really about what is my need of the day and what kind of tool do I use. And it's just great that I have all these tools, I guess, available for us to pick up. And then there's also public transport as well, because sometimes it's easier to get to places with public transport. So an analogy that I would probably put in is Google Maps is pretty smart. Like they don't sell car, they don't do rideshare, but they have all the information collated in one page. It's real time. And telling me, well, today traffic's really bad, I would suggest to take the public transport. Then,
or recommendation. So you've got the different options, but then you've got one platform to go, actually, here's what I want to go from point A to point B. What's the best route right now on the day? Oh, I love that. You surprise me with your analogies every single time. I'm like, every time I talk with Ming, it's like, oh, what is she going to come up with next? This is so great. Thank you.
I feel like because technology, at the base of technology is really solving problems, human problems, business run by humans. So it's just interesting at this time to see technologies everywhere. You might be using it every day, but you don't have to know how does the AI ML work, as long as you are enjoying the benefit of it.
Yes, that's right. Well, thank you so much for being with me today, Ming. And it's amazing to have an expert in the field as my guest, but also a fellow woman in tech, and to see and witness your journey and what you've achieved, and it's really great. So it's thank you so much for your time and the insight and friendship, really.
Thank you. My pleasure. It was just great to have these sessions with you, and I love to. I mean, we can talk all day on all topics, but it's definitely a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Ming. Thank you all.
Thank you.